I come from a military family. My father was in the Army, served in Desert Storm. I have 5 uncles that also served in some capacity in the military. My grandfather served in the Air Force, my other grandfather in the Navy. So it's kind of a family business. I'd talked to recruiters right out of high school, but had the opportunity to go and play baseball.
My first recollection of Josh was my freshman year of college. We were both athletes. He had the opportunity to play baseball, kind of felt like, well, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I better pursue it. But honestly wasn't super interested in a lot of things that higher education had to offer at the time.
After about 4 years of just kind of bouncing around, not really knowing what I wanted to do, I knew that if I wanted to stay with her, I was going to really need to do something with my life.
We talked about joining the military, and he had mentioned it a couple of times. I just told him, I think you're going to have regret if you don't pursue this. And so he joined the military, and he was just thriving.
And I loved the Army. I loved everything about it. But I didn't really understand the sacrifice that it took. I served about 4 years in the military total. I joined in January of 2010, did some training, and then deployed in March of 2012, and then got injured on May the 31st of 2012. Where I was at in Afghanistan, our main threat was improvised explosive devices. I was a team leader. I got with our EOD teams, got real proficient with the equipment. Everywhere we went like ducks in a row behind a metal detector. We were just on a normal 3-day patrol, and we came up on a road. I could see that there were 2 lines of rocks in the road, and usually the enemy would use that to tell the locals, like, hey, there's an IED in the area, make sure to stay away. We were coming up to a wall. I cleared as best I could in front of the wall, and when I went to reach across to clear the other side was when I stepped on the IED, instantly losing both of my legs. What we didn't know at the time was that was our first carbon rod IED, so it didn't have any metal at all. So I basically didn't even have the equipment to be able to pick it up. When I stepped on it, like, I was awake the entire time. I can remember flying through the air, I can remember laying on the ground. And when my medic got to me, he starts going through his checks and everything, and I made him stop at one point, and I was like, yo, like, did you see that sick flip that I just did? And he was like, what? And I was like, no, seriously, like, I know I would have landed that if I had legs. I didn't really grow up with like a healthy fear of anything. And so I never really thought like, this could be it. Like, I could die here today. I understood the ramifications of it. I was like, I'm gonna get some running legs. I'm gonna be able to walk again. I'm gonna see you guys when you get back. We're gonna barbecue all the time. It's not a big deal.
Josh and I actually got to be at Walter Reed with Tori and Andrew Smith, who were the founders of the Honoring the Sacrifice Foundation. One of the things that I remember Tori and Andrew talking about was how to make the experience of staying in a hospital easier on people. And it began with gift cards. At the time, Josh and I were just thankful for something that would cover minor groceries. That was a huge help.
Honoring the Sacrifice really wants to walk through life with you to figure out what your needs are. When I started school, they gave me a computer and a desk so I could make sure that I could stay on top of my schoolwork.
When our home was built, we didn't have 360 degrees of sidewalk around the house. Josh could utilize the sidewalk to get in the front door and the back door, but then there was this whole other side of the house that he couldn't get to in a wheelchair. Our kids are scooter and bicycle kids, and you always have a kid that's like, watch me do this, but Josh couldn't watch them. As recipients of Honoring the Sacrifice, now Josh can go to any point and watch our kids participate in their own life. That in itself is priceless.
For veterans, we don't always like to ask for help, but they want to know what you're going through. Honoring the Sacrifice does a great job. They can help you to be more independent and thrive in life. And having that added independence and freedom just means the world to me.
Thank you honoring the sacrifice for building the sidewalk and helping my dad and helping other veterans.